Hello Capricorn, and welcome back to my channel Inspiring Life Changes. My name's Colette and I'm an intuitive tarot reader of over 30 years, and this is a reading today for all you Capricorns, Sun, Moon, Venus, Rising and Cusp Capricorns out there. If you don't know where these placements are, there will be a free natal link in the description box down below for you to go and check that out for yourselves. You've got a lot of activity in your sign at this moment, Capricorn, as I talked about in my previous general read for yourselves, which is uploading at this time. And you may want to check out your own natal chart for that reason, because between the point of 17 where Jupiter is and 25 where Saturn is, you've got Pluto in the middle at 22. A lot of activity between that point of your chart, Capricorn, and it's been ongoing for quite a long time now. Again, if you're interested, I give a wee bit of a talk about that before I start your reading in the general read that I have just done. So this is a love reading, Capricorn, so you may also want to check out where your Venus is as well in particular. At this time, Venus is actually in the sign of Virgo, having just moved out of Leo. She's now in Virgo, so she's going to become quite particular, quite fussy, quite kind of, what's the word I'm looking for, quite possibly fastidious, like really kind of digging into things and trying to really kind of get to the bottom of how she feels and why she feels the way she feels as well. So starting your reading off, before I forget, I will be using two decks of cards. This is the deck of cards I will be using for yourselves and cross watchers. I often forget to say anything about cross watchers. I am really bad for that, I do apologise. But this is the deck of cards that I will be using for yourselves as well. So if the reading kind of feels as though it's the wrong way round with the cards, then just cross them over. However it resonates is the way that it's meant to be for you. So just do whatever feels right. And also just be aware, cross watchers, that the reading may it may be your story that is being told here rather than the story of the person that you're watching for, Capricorn, that you're interested in having a relationship with, or are in a relationship with, or you have been in a relationship with here. So starting the reading off with the cup cards. For those of you who have been to my channel before, you know that I separate a suit of cups from my tarot cards. This is the suit of cards that I'm using today, and this is the Three of Water here, which for me, the Three of Water always looks like a question mark. There's something about her whole kind of angle of being here, and even with this kind of shell at the bottom here with this pearl in it, there's still this kind of question mark with a dot at the bottom for me. And that's kind of where I think you're at this time with this, Capricorn. I think you're questioning. I think you don't know what's, whether to revive this, whether to, because the Three of Water can be reconciliation. It can be about bringing something back into being. It can also be about realizing that you've tried your best and that you kind of don't have any more to give something. There could also be an element of that for some of you, because this is kind of also coming in. It's like somebody may be making an offering here, but you may not be aware of it because your head is turned there. It feels like it's been quite a burden as well. So there could have been a lot of pressure, or you could well have been under a lot of pressure here, Capricorn, carrying a lot of weight. And again, if you watch my previous general read, that does come through quite strongly in that read about the burdens that you have had to carry for others as well. And I'm really sensing this kind of ball shape here today as well. I've never really seen that as clearly as I am today, where she's kind of, if you look, there's this kind of energy of a ball type, and it looks to me kind of like something that is building up or has built up, something that needs to be recognized here. But there is a sense of her not being sure, Capricorn, and that's kind of what's coming over. Again, she, he, it doesn't make any difference. It's not gender based, it's energy based, and it's just what's on the card is a mermaid rather than a merman. But there's kind of a blending, kind of getting a feeling of, like, if you look here, it's like she's blending in with this energy here. It's almost like it's sucking her into something is how it's feeling for me today as well. As though you're kind of really strongly connected to this and you can't necessarily draw your energy back from it or completely release yourself from this. And again, that's never really come out for me in the way that it is today. That's how it's coming across. Something that you're really very energetically connected to here, Capricorn, and you don't know how to necessarily release yourself from it, or whether you should accept it, because that's what's coming in. Her hand, for me, doesn't look as though she's actually got hold of this shell here with this pearl in it. It's kind of touching the edge of it, but she hasn't quite decided whether to grab it and actually like do something with it, or whether she's going to kind of push it away from her. And that's often how I see the Three of Water or the Three of Cups energy, is it's that after that initial coming together with somebody, it can be that time of having to make a decision as to whether you're going to put your time and your energy and yourself into this relationship. And maybe that's what this ball thing is here, this actual energy that I'm seeing here, all around here, is the actual like energy of the relationship itself. Almost like a separate energetic component. So there's you and this other person, and then there's the energy of the relationship kind of in between the two of you, is kind of how it's feeling. And you're on one side, the other person's on the other side, and you're still kind of very energetically attached to that actual relationship. Even if you're not still attached so much to the person, Capricorn, you're still attached to that energy of the relationship. So let's see what the cards have to say here. Oh, and before I forget, on the bottom today we have the Six of Water as well, which kind of is the same energy here. She's holding onto her stomach. She's kind of got that same, it's a similar kind of feeling to this in a way. Of kind of, in this card it's melancholy, it's yearning. There's a yearning in this card. There's a kind of recognition of feeling that something is missing, that something isn't right, feeling that something needs to be possibly re-looked at. Can also be seen as the card of two people deeply connected. And that could also be what this energy here is saying as well, that there is this really deep connection here. And that even if you have separated yourself from the actual person, you're still very connected to this energetic relationship between you. You're still feeling each other, you're still connected psychically, intuitively. And neither of you, it feels that neither of you have actually moved on here as well with this card. With the Six of Water, neither of you have actually moved on. So that could also be what that Three of Water is saying as well, that somebody may be getting another offer from somewhere, but they're not sure whether they can actually accept it, because they haven't detached themselves yet from what has been with somebody else who they have this deep connection with. So we have the King of Swords, which for me is this kind of question mark energy here. There is this question mark, there is this question, and the King of Swords is sitting here and he is questioning everything in a very logical manner. He's trying to make sense of it all. He wants to understand it, and not necessarily on a feeling level. This isn't about feelings, this is about logic, this is about intellect, this is about I need to keep my emotions out of this in order to stay on top of it, to not let it overwhelm me, to not allow it to take over. And he is open to communication because he is upright. He is open. But he's also, he's got his hand on his sword here as well, which is the sword of kind of intellect and truth. And so he's also ready in some ways to cut things off, to cut off what's no longer feeling right, or like if you do have communication with this person. Cross watchers, this is more the Capricorn energy that I'm picking up here, even though this is the energy of Aquarius, Libra, and mine's gone blank, Gemini. It's the air, it's the thinking, it's the logical, it's got to make sense, it's the where's all the information. I need the information on this. I need to be able to sit down and look at it all. This person doesn't want to feel about it as much as they want to understand it, whatever it may be. But like I was saying, if you do have communication with this person, crosswatcher, you also need to be aware that you've got to come to this person completely honestly. Like there has to be complete honesty here. Honesty about what's happened, why it happened, how it happened, what went wrong, what you were feeling. Because this person is in a headspace at this time of, I'm not going to listen to any BS. If you're going to try it, I'm just going to cut you off. And they're covered by the Eight of Pentacles as well. So they do know that there is something there that can still be worked on. They are aware of that. This is a challenge. They are aware that they can still put time and energy and effort into this. That they can rebuild something here. But they are in this place, like I said, of kind of questioning. Questioning, is it worth it? What's it going to take? How much is it going to drain my energy here as well? Is it going to be worth the effort even? Is it going to be appreciated? Is it going to be noticed how much I put into this? This is how you're feeling at this time, Capricorn. And what's in your head is that there's a lot of heartache, there's a lot of wounding, there's a lot of things, and this may not just be from this relationship, but this relationship could have added to this particular scenario here, that your heart is feeling deeply wounded. And you also have, again, the Three of Cups, the Three of Water, only this time it's in reverse. And the threes to me are like a, I mean, they're a trine energy, they're a triangle. So they're kind of like an easy flowing energy, or they should be an easy flowing energy. But because it's in reverse here, it's kind of saying that this person, I feel, feels as though it's a lot of complications. There's too much complication there. It's not it doesn't flow easily. And that could also be where this feeling of hard work comes in from as well. That they are aware that it is a challenge and that they are capable of doing it, but it's whether or not you want to do it, Capricorn. That's the question. Do you want to keep doing it? And you also have the Knight of Swords here as well, in reverse. So whatever caused this to heartache and whatever caused this kind of complication and this complexity here, it just feels like a complex situation. It could be third party with the Three of Swords. It does feel as though it's more than one energy involved there. And that doesn't necessarily mean that somebody has cheated on somebody. It just means that they may still have this energetic attachment to somebody. You may have been in a relationship with somebody, Capricorn or cross-watcher, where you still have this energetic connection with this other person. So you're trying to start something new here. You're trying to have a new beginning, quite possibly with somebody else. But you're still kind of longing or yearning for something that made you feel like you belonged with them, that was the right person for you, even though you may not be with them now, like I was saying, because this is very fast moving energy, the Knight of Swords, and is in reverse. And again, this sword is the sword of truth here. So there could have been some kind of, not deception, I wouldn't say deception, but some kind of not being completely open and honest about things, about your own emotions even, about how you really felt, Capricorn here. Kind of trying to move forward, trying to move beyond this hurt and this pain and convince yourself that you were happy and that this was what you wanted, but in fact you were just kind of trying to move beyond it. That's how I'm feeling. It's like this Knight of Swords is trying to kind of get beyond this energy, but because he's in reverse, it's also saying that you weren't being honest with yourself here. That whatever this truth was, it's coming to light, quite possibly. Either you're becoming aware of it, Capricorn, or somebody else is becoming aware of it. And it could well be yourself, because you do have this energy here. So this could either be your energy, Capricorn here, or this could be the other person. This could be the cross-watcher's energy, trying to move beyond this energy of heartache and complication and still being energetically attached to the past, not having let it go, so they're not able to completely open up to you, not completely able to, I just keep getting this kind of honest, but it's not like they're lying, it's not like they're lying, or it's not like they're deceiving, it's kind of they're just maybe even I just feel like they really want to move beyond that energy. They just really want to move beyond it and leave it in the past. But they're not recognizing something. It's like something is not being fully seen, fully brought into the light. So the energy that's moving away here, Capricorn, is the Seven of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. Seven of Pentacles is in reverse. And this is saying that there was a situation where you feel as though you didn't reap the benefits, you didn't get the harvest that you wanted, or you put all of this effort into something, all this time, everything that you put a lot of yourself into it, basically. But again, it's this kind of feeling that something was quite abrupt, and the ending that was quite abrupt, because the Ten of Swords is saying that there's a lot of again, it's coming over as like not being honest about it to yourself rather than anything else. But because of that, it's also brought on a lot of heartache or pain or suffering for somebody else here, as well as yourself, it feels like. And again, this deer for me is kind of showing up as a red heart, which we've got here as well in the background. I'm kind of seeing it as a red heart. It's very similar. So you may have felt that there's pain there, there's a lot of pain there, a lot of heartache, a lot of kind of something that didn't come to fruition that should have or could have, or that you really hoped it would. You put a lot of yourself into it, is what I'm getting here, Capricorn. But it turned into a painful situation. And you're still, it's a 10, so it's a finality, but you're still like, you still haven't quite realised that you've reached the ending of this. Because there's also exhaustion. I mean, he's completely on the ground. He's just done in. There's just this, like, that he's got no fight left in him. He's got nothing left in him. He's just like completely, totally surrendered. And there could be a feeling here of like knowing that you can't do anything about this situation. That what has been, it is the past. It is the past, it is an ending here. There is a finality in this. And that's the energy that you've been working through. And you also have the Knight of Cups in your subconscious here, along with the Seven of Cups as well. So this cup that the Knight is holding in his hand, if you can see it there, this cup here, he's holding it up, he's holding it up. He's holding it up in kind of like a sense of victory, or a sense of look at what I've got, look what I have here, look what I can offer you. And it is love, it was love. And it feels like it was a big love. Because it's with the 7 here as well, it's like all of this, I can offer you all of this. And also with the Seven of Pentacles here, I feel, because this is your subconscious, this is the root of what's gone down here. It's like each of these turned into this, but there was never any reaping of the harvest. There was never any gathering in of everything that had been supposed to have happened here, Capricorn. But this feels to me like an energetic connection with something rather than somebody. Although I do think that there is somebody involved. How it's coming through is that there was a previous relationship that hurt a lot. It could have ended very suddenly. And it's gone into your following relationship. But it's kind of followed, is what I'm getting. I think that's also what this is saying here as well. It's kind of followed. This energy has kind of followed you. Like you're still in that space. That space hasn't left you. And you put a lot of love into it. You were happy and willing and ready to give everything that you had to this. But the energy that we have moving is the Page of Swords. So you've got the Page, you've got the Knight, and you've got the King of Swords. So there's a lot of thinking here. There's a lot of logic. There's a lot of kind of trying to work things out emotionally by using your intellect. By trying to understand it, rather than necessarily feeling it. Because there's a sense that you've done this before. You've kind of totally given your cup to somebody. You've totally been in love with this person. But just this abrupt ending is what I'm getting, this abrupt, because you've also got the 10 here as well. I forgot about the 10. So you've got the 10, you've got the Page, you've got the Knight, and you've got the King. That's a lot of swords energy. A lot of intellect, a lot of trying to think things through, a lot of trying to work things out, a lot of trying to move quickly in order to get it away from something that you may not have thoroughly dealt with, which is also why possibly this card is here as well. Something that hasn't been completely dealt with and you're still holding on to it. Even though you know it's a fantasy as well, even though you know that it's castles in the air, you know that it's not ever going to be a reality. There's still this sense of holding it. Just holding it is how it's feeling. And with this Page of Swords in reverse, pages being an energy of learning about themselves, questions again. What's coming through, questions. This page is questioning, but not necessarily in a way that's it can feel argumentative. It can feel, you may be feeling, Capricorn, argumentative. You want answers. You want answers. You want to know why. Or you will be, because this is the future that is coming in here. And you may also be feeling as though it's time to strike out alone here. It's time for you to take a new path, because this is a crossroads. And it splits off in these two directions here. This is the Two of Wands, Two of Fire. So you may be feeling that it's best to move beyond where you are. Because with this two here, it feels as though he's very much taken this path on his own. It's his own journey. It also feels with this Page of Swords as well that something needs to be kind of appeased or put to rest, or there's a restlessness in this energy here. A restless, yeah, it feels like a restlessness, like something needs to be maybe re-examined. But the Two of Wands does feel as though there's a new path opening up for you. There's a new sense of something that's going to lead you where you haven't been before. Take you on a new journey, on a new, I mean, it could even be moving away from somewhere where you are and kind of getting out of the area. Trying to kind of maybe even move away from memories here as well. Things that kind of kept you in the same energy. So there could be a move here as well, Capricorn. There could be a wanting to, like I say, find a new path, a new journey. Okay. So this person is also in a headspace or a frame of kind of mind of wanting something new, of also wanting to plant their future now. They want to create in the present. They're wanting to plant and sow their seed in this fertile soil, so to speak. It's like thinking ahead. It's like, okay, if I plant the seeds now, I can reap the harvest later down the line. But first of all, I need to plant my seed. And then I can watch it grow. It can become more than what I have at this time. This is where this person's at. It's Page of Pentacles, so it's Earth, Capricorn, Taurus and Virgo energy. Again, not new energy, young energy. So it's an energy that this person is aware that they need to nurture and take care of this for themselves. This is them planning their future. This is them thinking ahead. This is them thinking, okay, what am I going to create for my future? How am I going to do it? How am I going to grow my future? And they're wanting to plant, obviously, in fertile soil. They want it to be where it's going to give them the most harvest. It's like they're aware that they need to be careful of where they're putting that energy. Is it going to be a fertile soil? Will it be able to grow in that soil? Even down to the point of being in a relationship with somebody, you know, is that here as well, you know, in the sense of like, if I offer this to this person, if I offer this person this pentacle, are they going to help me grow it? Is it going to, or is it just going to be left to wither up and die, really, is how this person's thinking at this time. They have the Knight of Cups as their challenge here. You also have the Knight of Cups, I believe. Yep, you also have the Knight of Cups down here as well. So there is love in and around this situation. This is the water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces and Scorpio energy. It is feeling, it is, this person is starting, I feel they're starting to realise that they need to plant their future somewhere where it's going to be taken care of, loved, like being able to tend for it. Somebody's going to take care, is what I'm getting here. Somebody's going to be willing to take care of this energy of theirs, their energy, their own energy. Somebody who's going to look after them, take care of them. That's what they're wanting, that's what they're hoping for. And they may well be hoping that this is you, Capricorn, that is going to do this for them. Or not just for them, but for the pair of you as a relationship together. That you can grow something together. And this could be the offer as well that is being made here. That you're not quite sure about. You're still questioning, because I feel you still haven't quite recovered or got over this energy from your past wounding. And they also have in their head, they have the Star card. Hopes in reverse. They are wishful. They haven't given up, even though it's in reverse. They are trying, I feel, to kind of move past that energy. So this could also be them as well. They may still, this could be their energy of moving past something, trying to get beyond all of this energy here, Capricorn. In order to reach this. But at this time, they're just seeing all of this. They're not able to see this. They're not seeing a bright future. They're just seeing all the crap that's coming out of Pandora's box here. All the suffering, all the nasty stuff. They're just feeling it. And it's like one thing after another. It's like they get through something and then bang, they're straight back into something else. But at the same time, they are still hanging in there. And this could be the complications that I was talking about as well earlier, about the complications of this relationship. This could be what all that is. Complex, complications, nothing going smoothly. Just a sense of ongoing stuff, whereas it should have been kind of bright and beautiful and destiny and a blessed union, but it wasn't. it's been full of difficulty and heartbreak. And I'm not sure if this is on your side or on their side, Capricorn. It could be on their side, and it could be that you feel as though maybe they kind of tried to use you on some level. And maybe that's also why you're not trusting this. And why you're also possibly feeling stabbed in the back as well with this Ten of Swords. Because whatever it was that you offered wasn't enough, and you've just got the Seven of Cups come out here again as well. Or they've got the Seven of Cups come out over the top here. So there has been a lot of kind of illusion around this, a lot of fantasy, a lot of kind of wishful thinking, wanting, hoping, praying, kind of everything being up in the air. Again, like this card here, you know, you've got, it's come out twice, the Seven of Cups. Confusion, illusion. Here I always feel that Aphrodite is kind of saying, like, you know, you can have anything you want, just choose whatever it is you want. And Psyche's down here going, but I don't want any of that. I don't want any of that. I want what I want. I know what I want, and it's not any of those. But Aphrodite, the goddess of love, is kind of fickle. And she doesn't always give us what we want, what we need maybe. And this could be a relationship of a healing on some level, because the Three of Swords, although it's a painful situation, can also be cathartic as well, because it can also be like cathartic healing, in the sense of suddenly realizing that what you've been believing or seeing as being a truth actually hasn't been. And so it's kind of like a bursting of a bubble, which is interesting as well, because that's what I kept seeing here with this card, was this bubble energy. That's what I think this is this bubble. And so it's like a bursting of a bubble of what was fantasy, what was illusion, what was like possible, kind of like this could happen, that could happen, I could have this, I could have that, I could have it all, I could have, it's like overwhelming choice in some ways, but also kind of living a fantasy rather than it being a reality. It's like living in a fantasy world, trying to create something in a fantasy way that isn't real, that isn't going to actually be sustaining and fulfilling and give you the harvest that you want, because it's just a fantasy. There's no foundation, there's no grounding, there's no, it's kind of, it's just all in the air. And it's painful. When the reality hits, it can be very painful. So it feels as though there's a sense of you kind of questioning as to why this person wanted a relationship with you, Capricorn, in the first place. What was their motives? Were their motives honest? Were they lying to themselves? Because I do feel as though you did try to give them what you thought they needed, or what you thought was going to turn into something real. And this could be why this person's in this space now. Maybe this is what they are becoming aware of, that they need to be real, that they need to bring it out of the fantasy realm here. And actually, if they're going to have this relationship and this love with you, and it not, again, the Knight of Cups can be fantasy as well. He can be a dreamer. He could be somebody who is very idyllic when it comes to love. The idea of love is more appealing than the actual reality of love itself. The actual kind of grind of love, if you like, the kind of, you know, reality of living with somebody, of kind of dirty, smelly socks on the floor and toothpaste tubes squirted out and constant cleaning and tidying up after this person and that kind of thing. It's like the Knight of Cups can fall in love with the idea of love rather than the actual reality of love. Which is why there's this fish out of water here as well. Although they feel like a fish out of water, when they don't have love, they need love. And that could also be this Page of Pentacles as well. They may well be craving that need here. Interesting thing about the Page being earth and the Knight being water as well. It's like the Knight of water soaks into the earth. It's like feeds it. It feeds it, it nurtures it, it brings it to life. It brings all of this to life. So it is like little seeds of love here being planted, and maybe this person is being challenged to now be the Knight of Cups for you, Capricorn. And water the soil for you to help you grow. Well, they are moving away, and there is a process of learning and growth going on here as well, the Hierophant. They are moving away from the turmoil and the heartache and the upset and the emotional overwhelming energy that I think they've been in, which I think is all that complication, that emotional complexity of this person's feelings. And they're looking towards their future here. They're looking towards something calmer, serener waters, a tranquility, less easily upset is also what's coming through here. Less easy to kind of, like, they don't want to overreact anymore, which is kind of what I'm getting from the Six of Swords down here. Maybe a sense of also that whatever it was that you tried to do for them or give them was never enough for this person as well. And I am getting a kind of feeling of emotional yeah, this sense of being very what's the word I'm looking for here? Volatile in a way. Like their emotions would easily rise to the surface. But they're moving out of that, or they're trying to move out of that. This is in the subconscious, so they may not have been aware of that energy. But the Hierophant is here as well. So there is this kind of feeling of moving towards this energy of being much more, well, the wounded healer. This is Chiron, the wounded healer. So there is something taking place on a deep level. There is a healing, like I was saying earlier, that it's kind of cathartic, and it could be that both of you on some level are helping heal each other here. But there is definitely a healing taking place for this person. A deeper understanding of their own psyche, a deeper understanding of their own history as well, maybe, because this scroll is also something for me that is either something that's yet to be revealed, or it's a sense of it holds a history. This could also be generational as well, the Hierophant. It could be generational wounds, from generational woundings as well, that are being healed. Chiron, the wounded healer. It is also, of course, about faith, belief, trust, okay, right, we have the Four of Wands. So this person is taking up a challenge here, or they're going to be moving into a challenge. They're going to, again with this Six of Swords down here with this boat, it's like this boat is waiting here for them. It's like something is coming in for this person. For a new, again, this kind of sense of something new, a new beginning, a new direction, a new journey, a new adventure. They also have the Three of Swords in reverse here as well. Which feels to me as though they may well kind of becoming more aware of their depth of their emotions here, and the pain that they're kind of storing or carrying within them. Because they've also got the moon, and when the moon is upright, for me, it's all about open emotion. It's about showing, feeling your emotions. The moon is full, the moon is bright. Emotions are ruled by the moon. It's also Cancer energy, so it's intuitive knowing, instinctual knowing. This is things being revealed rather than things being hidden. So this could be a time when this person is going to realize that they have to, like, this is their journey, if you like. This is their challenge. This is what they need to look at. This is what they need to accept. For their own benefit. For their own benefit here. Because otherwise they're going to keep dragging this around with them. And repeating the same story as well. That's another thing with the moon. It can be about kind of repeating things, kind of looking from your past, your present, into the future. That's why she's got like 3 heads there. She's looking in all directions, looking backwards, looking straight ahead in the present, and looking into the future as well. So it could also be saying that this person is kind of bringing all of this emotional baggage into this energy with the moon here of having to deal with their emotions, having to. This is their challenge, it feels like. This is their journey. They're kind of like, you know, I'm prepared, I'm ready, I know I can do this. I've got support around me. All these people are here to help me with this. And it has been painful. It's been a painful journey. It still is a painful journey. Whatever it was that happened here has left this person deeply wounded. But this moon is saying it's time for it to be looked at, delved into. You can no longer hide from this. This person can no longer hide from it. And you, Capricorn, may not. You may be going separate ways here. This may not be a part of your journey, is kind of what I'm feeling. It's not part of your journey. You've got your own path to take here. And they've got their own path of self-discovery. So I'm going to pull a... I was going to pull a Abraham Hicks card, but it doesn't feel right. So I'm going to pull a Keepers of the Light card instead, because that feels more. And I'm also going to pull a Guardian Angel card as well, a guide card, but they feel more appropriate at this time. So what's the message here for Capricorn? Feels to me as though, Capricorn, you've done as much as you can do for this person. And that their journey and your journey are going to go in separate directions here. You've kind of led them to this point, it feels. It kind of feels as though you've got them to this stage. You've got them to this point. But now you've got them to this point, but you can't share any more of this journey with them. Is how it's coming across for me today. And like they still have to get on that boat. And that boat is, for me, it's life. And for this person, it's all about this energy. It's all about the need for them to go on a journey of self-discovery here with this moon. That's how it feels. It's like a deep delve into their emotional realm that they don't necessarily want to go into. So we have, so you can't make it up, Hilarion. He is in reverse, and when he's in reverse it means basically it's a really important message and you need to take more notice of it. And it is the card of divine healing. And it says, honour your sensitivity, retreat to recharge and heal. Your light can support others. But it is in reverse, so let's see what it says. Okay, so Hilarion is a spiritual master who lived in the Middle East during the 4th century. At the age of 15, he felt the call to go to the retreat of St. Anthony in the Egyptian desert. This was busy with people needing healing, So after a while he went back home with some monks. During that time his parents passed away, and it is said that Hilarion was so devoted to service he gave all of their estate to his brothers and the poor. For the rest of his life he lived as a hermit in a cave, and was said, kind of this energy here, this is, like I was saying, this is the wounded healer. This is saying that there is wounds that need to be healed here. And he did live most of his life hidden away in a cave as well. Chiron. Very similar story. And was said to perform miracles with his prayers and touch. To this day he is dedicated to healing, but he also helps spiritual people who feel overly sensitive to overcome their challenges and integrate with the normal world. The world can seem overwhelming to you, and it's okay to retreat to a safe place and space every now and then to cleanse and recharge your energy. You may feel called to serve others or share your healing with them, but please ensure you are filled up with light, love and energy first, so that you are not sacrificing your own development for others. You are surrounded by the healing light of Hilarion and the healing angels at this time, so that you can recharge and feel whole. Which kind of fits in with the other reading that I did for you earlier as well, Capricorn, where it's kind of talking about how you have put all of yourself into other people, in the sense of kind of looking after and taking care of their needs, but kind of not being so much aware of your own needs and how that is kind of changing. So you may also want to check that reading out there as well, Capricorn. So I'm really pleased that I chose these cards instead, because I think the message there is quite strong and quite clear. But I do feel it is Greene energy as well, so it is heart chakra energy that you're dealing with here. But I feel as though it's saying that you need to look after your own energy at this time. It feels to me, like I was saying, that you have taken this person as far as you can, and that now they need to do the rest of this journey for themselves. It doesn't mean that you can't help them, but it does mean that you can't, it feels like you can't actually be involved with them, in a relationship with them in the same way that you have been previously, that you have to completely withdraw your energy in that way. So let's see what the Angel Guide Oracle cards want to say here as well. Angel Guide Oracle card for Capricorn and the person they have a energetic relationship with. Okay, we have Mother, Father, God, which is an interesting energy, and we also have Sacred Plan, also in reverse here. Two of them come out together. So let's have a quick read. Mother, Father, God. You are connected to the power of creation at this time. Your spiritual parent is enveloping you in their incredible love and filling you with divine energy and inspiration to help you move forward. This card is a message directly from the heart of God, universe, source, whichever you prefer, however you prefer to call it. It is telling you that you are significant and precious. You are loved beyond measure, and the creator power is proud of you. You are being encouraged to have faith and know that anything is possible for you. No matter what you may be going through, you are always connected to the source of creation. Your angel guide is encouraging you to remember this now. And also, sorry, Sacred Plan. Sacred Plan is... Okay, so it is reversed, so I'm just going to read the reverse extended message. Again, it means that it's more important, needs to be taken notice of. And it's kind of reminding me of a similar energy to this here as well. It's kind of going off in a different direction, a different path. Your paths are not connected, it feels like. If you're trying to force a plan into action, the angelic guidance is to back down and trust in the greater good. Often when something isn't happening for us, we're frustrated, but that's only because we don't see what our perfect plan is unfolding. When your plans or ideas go wrong, trust that the universe has a greater plan for you. And that greater plan isn't something that has already been chosen for you. It's something that has, and that greater plan isn't something that has already been chosen for you. It's more of a culmination of all your life's intentions, prayers and actions washing back towards you with opportunities and experiences. Call on your angels to light up the path ahead. You may feel that you are facing the unknown, but know that you are always guided and protected. And I think that's exactly what this is saying here. But there are two paths you can go by. Sounds like a Led Zeppelin song. But there's a separation here, is what I'm getting. There's a separation. You got to separate. It's time for you to go on different paths. You may, in the future, rebuild something. Who knows? But at this time, you've done as much for this person, I feel, Capricorn, as you possibly can, and it is time to move forward on a different route, on a different path. So I hope that this has been of some help to you, Capricorn, and I really hope that you have got something from it. If you have, please could you thumbs it up for me, give me some likes, because it really, really helps the algorithms. It helps to get my videos and my messages out there into the bigger YouTube world, so that other people can get to see them as well and listen to the messages that are coming through that also may be helpful for them as well. All of my readings are on playlists as well, so if anybody's interested in looking and checking out the playlist, it's all there. I do new moon and full moon videos, both the astrology and the tarot readings for those as well. And also, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please could you do so. And those of you who have, thank you very much, I really do appreciate it. But if you haven't, there's a little red bell on the side of the video. Could you tap that? And then it will give you options to be able to get the videos as and when I put them out as well, I do believe. So that would be really helpful and really appreciated, and it would be lovely to have you here on my channel as I'm kind of keeping growing it slowly but surely. Also, any comments, if you want to leave me any comments to let me know how you feel about the reading, or whether it's resonated with you, or whether you don't like it, do like it. It's just nice to get some comments and be able to know that there is some feedback, rather than me just sitting here and staring into a camera, which is basically what I do while I'm doing my readings. So also, before I forget, please share them. If you think there's anybody else who is going to be getting any benefit from them, feel free to share them. That's really helpful for me, and also helps to get the messages out there. And with all that being said, Capricorn, I am going to say, please take really good care of yourselves. Take really good care of anybody else around you who you can at this time. And hopefully I will see you again soon.